So a lot of people are talking about, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And for many people, this is the hardest word there is, because it's very easy to keep doing the same old thing. So there's a saying that I've had for years, and the saying is this: for things to change, first, I must change. And for many, many people, this is the hardest thing there is. The most difficult for a poor person is stop being poor. And you can just keep doing the same old thing and wind up poor. Millions and millions of people are finding out they're poor. They may have done all the right things. They went to school, they got a job, they work hard, they live below their means, they save money, and they may have invested in the stock market or a superannuation or RRSP. But they can't change. That's the problem. And I've been talking about this for years and years and years and years and years about this word here, is how do you change? It's more than just changing your thoughts. You got to change what you do. You got to change your emotions and change spiritually here. They taught you to get a job, work hard, save money, get out of debt, invest in the stock market. And that's why they're in trouble today. And the hardest thing to do is change that thought. So this was in the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You have income, expense, asset, liability. This is the difference. And a lot of people read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but they didn't get the message. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I said the rich don't work for money. Well, this is where most people are focusing on. This was Poor Dad. Most people watching right now want a paycheck. That was Poor Dad. They work for money. And then they try and reduce their expenses. That's poor people thinking. I'm going to work hard and I'm going to try and save a little money. That's ridiculous. That's why you're poor. Got to change that thought. And this here is Rich Dad. Rich Dad said the rich don't work for money. The rich work for assets, and assets are down here. So this is called a P&L, and this is called a balance sheet. Now, again, it's the words. And from the Bible, I'm not really religious, but the word becomes flesh. You've got to know this word here. When I talk to my friends, we're talking about balance sheets. How many assets do you have offset via liabilities? And the average person, like my poor dad, a PhD, most employees, they think here, they think P&L, profit and loss. And the rich think in balance sheets. And when I talk to the average person, they have no idea what a balance sheet is. They call their house an asset, which was number 2 in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, when their house is really a liability. And so the reason people are poor is they have liability after liability after liability they call assets. So this is the big difference between thoughts and how you change. This here is Poor Dad. The words in his head were go to school, get a job, get a paycheck, and a retirement plan. And this was my poor mom. She wanted me to be a doctor. The problem was I kept flunking out of school. It's not very smart. And over here was my rich dad. So if you're going to change your thoughts, how do you change? You may want to consider making your changes here. This one is the hardest, by far the hardest, but they are the richest. They are the richest people on the earth. Like today, Steve Jobs, he didn't finish school. Michael Dell didn't finish school. Zuckerberg didn't finish school. Walt Disney did not finish school. This is the hardest quadrant here. B stands for 500 employees or more, but also stands for the word brand. Apple is a brand. Disneyland is a brand. Tesla is a brand. Rich Dad is a brand. These guys, they want everything in their names, like Joe's Fish Company. You cannot explain, it's hard to expand if you're the worker. Again, an S can do their job on their own. These guys cannot. Very, very big difference. These guys are inside investors. I'd rather be inside. And these guys, what they teach you in school is to be on the outside. So as you're listening and watching this program, your brain should be twisting right now because it goes back again to words, and the words become flesh from the Bible. I'm not religious, I'm just telling you the Bible. If you're saying I need job security and a steady paycheck, you're stuck here. If you say I want to start my own business, I want to do it on my own, you're an S. Nothing right or wrong. There's nothing right or wrong. Just be aware. If I want to start a big business like Apple or Facebook or Google, then it becomes a brand. And those are the richest people on earth. And I stands for inside investor. So when I invest in real estate, I'm an insider. When I buy gold, silver, or Bitcoin, I'm an insider doing that. I don't need a fund manager to do it for me. So those are thoughts and things that people need to change about their lives. What do you want to do? This is hard. I've been working on this a long time.